But we also did, as always.
How you doing? Good. How you been? Busy? And what grade are you? Okay, we're going to get started.
How are you?
As many of you may know, today is April the 25th, 2018. The purpose of today's meeting is to hear from the public regarding the budget. Vice President Powell, how many of these public hearings have we had? Is this the second one?
This is our second and last scheduled public meeting.
All right, and again, I want to thank you for your effort in, from the board's perspective, marshaling and shepherding this whole budget through. There's much thanks, and we've already given out them on a number of occasions to members of Barbara's team. But today, I wanted to, on behalf of the board, thank you, Vice President Powell, for the role that you've played in helping the board manage this very, very challenging and most important part of our job. So again, tonight is about you all. What you'll find is that we will call up speakers. We will listen to what speakers have to say, and it's sometimes kind of confusing to folks when we just sit here and we don't say anything, but that's our job. And I got to tell you, for those watching and listening, it's a difficult thing to do, to just sit and listen, especially if you're a lawyer. You know, I get paid to talk and have an opinion. But we have to sit here and listen to what you all have to say, and sometimes it's tough. But we do that. We have a rule about not speaking back so that you all feel comfortable in speaking your mind. And one of the most important things that you can speak your mind about is the budget, because it really does forecast what will happen for the balance of our school year. A lot of people blow off these hearings, but to those of you who have decided to participate today, and I know there are 7, and then I think there's a few more that maybe weren't able to get through, and we're certainly going to accommodate those folks as well. I want to emphasize, on behalf of the board, we thank you for taking the time to do this, because your presence here today, you're taking the time to take that podium, suggests to us you know the importance of this conversation that we're about to have today. But again, let me remind you, it's a one-way conversation, and that is, and by that I mean you all will speak to us and we won't respond today. And let me emphasize the word today. We will take in everything that you say. The budget deliberations are far from over. You'll see scattered throughout this room members of the Board of Education staff, of course, a number of people from the superintendent staff, and they're taking notes. And sometimes if you see us on our phones, it doesn't mean we're not listening. In fact, what we're doing is we're taking notes. I see Barbara's taking notes already. And you're going to see that happen. And you're going to see people down on their phones. It doesn't mean we're not listening. We're participating in the limited way that we can in the conversation. So without further ado, let's begin with Mary Callahan.
Hi.
Good evening.
I am the parent of a son who attends kindergarten at School 57, as well as a high school English teacher. I am also a member of the Metro Justice Education Committee, the New Poor People's Campaign, and Mothers Out Front Environmental Group. As a teacher, I believe that developing positive relationships with students in classrooms and buildings should always be the #1 priority. When we treat students with respect, value them as individuals, and seek to provide each student with what they need, we are all most likely to be successful.
Thank you.
I would like to see a substantial investment in restorative practices, including coordinators helping to consistently implement this practice in every single school, with ongoing oversight to make sure it is occurring effectively. I also believe that this starts with investment in culturally representative curriculum, involving time and space for teachers to collaborate in its development and implementation in every single classroom. Eurocentric curriculum has an alienating effect and is a disservice to all students by leaving huge gaps in the truth of American history and in the incredible contributions people of color have brought to America and the world, not only in the fight for civil and human rights, but contributions in general, past and present. Our curriculum does not convey that we value people who look like the majority of our students. Clearly, this is harmful. To me, restorative practices also involve investment in culturally responsive education training for teachers, including ongoing training in implicit bias and white privilege. As a teacher, I have also seen the growing need for support in students' emotional health. Please invest in professional development around social-emotional needs, trauma, and resiliency. I'd rather see many, many more counselors and social workers hired than school security. Finally, please invest in ongoing opportunities to hear students and parents voice what they need from the district, and then make it a priority to give it to them. I feel as though there is often a lack of trust between the community and the district. Please make it a priority to restore it. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Esteve, I probably mispronounced your name and I apologize. I'm sure you'll correct me. Good evening. Estevez, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Estevez. I am a parent of 2 children in the RCSD. They're both in high school. I'm also a member of the Bilingual Council, and I have my notes on my phone as well. It takes me a little bit. My question, it's about, I see that we are adding 19 additional bilingual special education teachers, but I also see that we're cutting 9 bilingual special education paraprofessionals. Those 2 jobs positions are different. responsibilities. What made you decide on those cuts? That's the first question. And the second question is, if you cut those paraprofessionals and you don't fill those teachers' positions, then how will you support our students?
As I indicated, we don't respond, although no, that's okay, that's okay. But there is probably somebody in this room who can provide response. I see a couple people volunteering there. So they'll answer those questions, okay? And then if you have additional questions, you can reach any one of us by email or by phone.
Thank
Okay?
you.
But I think, is it gonna be Ray? Ray will help you out. And if you have the time, if he hasn't answered your question, the superintendent and I will be around afterwards, and other folks will be around afterwards, okay?
That would be great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Giancarlo GC. I always have a tough time pronouncing your last name. I've known you for many years, and I don't even try. So let's put it on the mic, and let me hear how it's pronounced right.
Well, you gotta be able to get Giancarlo now,
Gi-
right? With the Yankees bringing on the guy from Marlins, right? So it's Giancarlo Giannini. I'm a parent of a student at School of the Arts, and I'm a member of the Parent Advisory Council. I've also been on the Board of Education Finance Committee for the last 7 or 8 years. So tonight, I'm here to speak on behalf of PAC, the Parent Advisory Council, and the recommendations we'd like to put forth regarding the budget. Over the past several years, there have been a lot of things that the Parent Advisory Council has asked for and have been implemented, and I'd like to thank the district and the board for promoting those. Reading, math, social-emotional staff to support children is something that we've asked for, pushed for, advocated for, and has been added to the budget over the past couple years. Supporting the unique and highly valued programs within the district, Montessori, the IB program, expeditionary learning, those things are fantastic. A lot of parents love those, and we've had continued support for those, so thank you. And the continued funding and growth of funding in extracurriculars over the years, music, arts, sports, those things that really help keep kids engaged. Those have been very important and have been something that's been a priority. And when cuts have had to have been made, you've tried to make them at the district level, central office, as opposed to at the schools. Again, something that if they have to be made, we prefer to see them at that level. So thank you for those things that we've asked for in the past and have made their way into the budget. As we move forward, there's a couple items that we feel need to be implemented in the current budget, and they really center around two things. The recommendations from the Community Task Force on school climate and ensuring that the parent voice is sustained at the district level. So I'll start with the Community Task Force recommendations. There are 5 of them. Professional learning dedicated to climate transformation, culturally informed curriculum and instruction that facilitates student engagement. A couple things that I just heard mentioned by the first speaker. An Office of Student Life in each of the high schools to engage students in creating authentic student voice. And really the last two that is the Parent Advisory Council we really want to emphasize, and that's the full implementation of restorative practices. That initiative and the Joy to Grow relationship models, want to make sure that's implemented with fidelity throughout the district, and ensuring that the schools are welcoming for parents and that there are opportunities for meaningful parent engagement. So those are the CTF recommendations, the 5 kind of in general. There's a lot of detail behind those. Really emphasize we'd like to see that incorporated into the budget. The second thing is with respect to parent voice and ensuring that that's sustained at the district level. We'd like to request that concrete plans will be developed to ensure that there is support and resources available to engage parents at the district level. Some examples of that, ensuring that the Office of Parent Engagement is fully funded and supported with sufficient personnel. Ensuring that there is funding allocated at the district level for parents to attend various conferences, especially outside of Rochester, and ensuring that the parent liaisons are organized and funded in a way that promote parent interactions and can funnel parental issues and concerns back into PAC and OP. So Again, thank you for the previous alignment with the PAC recommendations, and we really look forward to moving forward and having these implemented also. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Mitza, or Misa? And I'm sure, again, you will correct me, and I apologize. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and my name is Mari Mesa. I'm just a concerned citizen overall, an advocate, and I don't have any children in the school district, but I was one. So I just want to advocate for better nutritional school lunches and for more bilingual professionals. And also, instead of so much vocational training for kids, why not prep them for four-year universities, such as tutors, programs, a way of getting grant money so that, which they normally a lot of families don't have the money to go to college, but if you tell them how to navigate the system in terms of grants and how to afford college, tutors, like I said, that sort of thing. Apparently there's a lot of vocational training, but I really think that a lot of these kids, I would like to see some sort of program so that they can end up in four-year universities and become professionals, because there's a lot of need for that, and I believe in our youth, and that's all I have to say, and thank you.
Thank you. Reverend Cunningham, Marilyn Cunningham. I know I saw her. Oh, there you are.
I want to say good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Such an opportunity to be able to speak to the board tonight. I grew up here in Rochester, and one of the things that I was taught early on was you got to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. I don't have to tell you all the things I'm involved in this city. But when I look back over my life, I graduated from 44 school. I had an awesome education. It was a tumultuous time. That's a time when the schools were forced to desegregate. And I was one of the first to be bussed out from 14 to go to 44. Graduated from East High School. My children graduated from 39. 4 kids graduated from School of the Arts. So I'm at the rodeo again with my grandchildren. It was a good start. Had it not been for the district, we would not have found out early on by testing that my grandson had autism and needed help. So I'm here tonight to talk about the paraprofessionals and one-on-one special ed. Be careful this time around as you do this budget. Sometimes I wonder what happened. Because my grandkids got a good start in preschool with a one-on-one. They got a good start in preschool because of the decisions that the district made. But somewhere down the line, the one is graduating this year from School of the Arts with honors, with an IEP. So that tells you something. A district student graduating from a school in Rochester that we got so much stuff going on now. She has an IEP, but she's graduating with honors and has been accepted to a college, Savannah State University, and is a Black scholar. And I thank the district. I thank the school system because some stuff worked. But something went wrong. And I guess that's why I'm here tonight. Something happened within the last couple of years that went wrong. Callousness, recklessness. And I can't put my hand on it. All I'm asking you to do is please make sure that you involve the parents when you make your decisions concerning our students. Make sure you involve the parents. Parents have good input. When you don't involve parents and when parents don't have input, that's when stuff happens. Please be careful how you get rid of these paraprofessionals. As I go to my seat, because I hear the bell ring.
That's a move I've never seen before. That works. That's where, yeah, that's a preacher move. Lawyers do that too, by the way.
Kyrie graduates next year as a Black Scholar also. I'm almost in tears. Because you did do something right, but somewhere something went wrong. Please fix it. And then as you fix it, include parents.
Thank you. PM Moeller. Is it Mahler or Moeller? Muller. Okay.
Hello. I don't have any preacher moves or lawyer moves. I moved to Rochester almost 2 years ago, and despite what everyone told us, we placed our son in the public schools because we wanted to be in the city, and we didn't buy the scare narrative. And our son is in a good school. He is in School 53, the Montessori school in Scioto Street, I think it is. But I also say that I don't think it's really a Montessori school. It needs a better investment to be a Montessori school. I love my son's teacher. She's great. She's giving him a real educational experience. It's not just a narrow curriculum. She teaches the whole child. And I would still say that this is not a Montessori school. We came from a public Montessori school in a different city. I know what that looks like, and this isn't it. The teachers do not have sufficient training and education in it to really embrace that Montessori philosophy. So I want to put that out there. I've spoken about it multiple times before. It's worth reiterating. If we're serious about having a Montessori school, it needs to be a Montessori school. It can't just be a name on a building. That said, like I said, I'm really happy with my son's educational experience here in terms of his learning and his teacher's ability to engage the whole child. Right? She sees all of him, despite all the pressures of Common Core state standards and the testing regime that comes with that. And she comes to it from a place of love. She has faith in the children, and she has faith in their growth. I love seeing that, and at the same time, I worry that this will not last. He's in a positive school environment right now, but what I have heard since coming here from a lot of teenagers, a lot of them in teen empowerment, is that that's not their experience, right? That that's not what their schools feel like. So that's my worry. There's a lot of good things in this budget, more social workers, more intervention teachers, more behavioral specialists, and a lot of these positions, as well as more special ed teachers, a lot of them are bilingual, which is really, really necessary and needed. And that's really positive because it's a turn away from that punitive disciplinary practice that has produced those suspension numbers in the past. And I really want to embrace that restorative approach. But I also see in the budget that there are plans to hire 9 additional sentries. I don't know the rationale for that. What I can see is that we need more of the others. I think that the relationships building is really where it's at. When Teen Empowerment speaks about their experience in high schools, here in these chambers or in Albany or in our marches, they talk about experiencing their schools as prisons, right? That this is an incarceral experience, having to remove even their earrings to enter the building, right? That's dehumanizing, and that has me worried. So as a parent, as a resident of the city, I really want to encourage you to really fully go with the restorative practices, to really invest in that kind of internal discipline where you teach relationship building and discipline through that. That's what I'd say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Peter Birkin. Peter Birkin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Birkin. My business is Message to Billions. There is 7.5 billion people in the world. I help bully-proof people so they can bring out their unique genius. Our Rochester City School District has been drastically underperforming. Schools are unsafe, which means students and staff are challenged to come to school. Being a former teacher for the RCSD, which, by the way, I had great experiences myself and with my colleagues. I saw many superintendents and administrators come and go. With them, their programs came and went. Many have been very good. It will take a full collaboration between the unions, the board, superintendent, administrators, and human resources to restore the Rochester City School District to greatness again. We used to be there. Currently, restorative justice needs a supplemental consequential system that will bring back the control to our administrators and staff. The current system of constant reminders and warnings in classroom takes time away from instruction. These distractions over the course of the school year are keeping our students from being successful. My bully-proof blueprint, which will challenge these negative outcomes immediately, will change them immediately. Our solutions to the many problems that we have with Rochester. The staff and students will build positive habits based on respect. Please include my consulting in this school year's budget. I will help eradicate bullying, reduce suspensions, decrease dropouts, significantly increase parent connection, greatly increase graduation, being laser focused and passion, bring passion back to Rochester. I'm Peter Birkin, and that's about it. I would like to end by saying what part of the program I would bring is life coaching. 90% of a life coach's business is acknowledging and validating the people that come to them, clients, individuals, whatever you want to call them. 90% is acknowledging and validating. I would like to end with a quote. The time is always right to do what is right. Reverend and Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Board, Superintendent.
Elizabeth Laidlaw. Elizabeth. That was one name I could pronounce. I've known Elizabeth for many years.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Beth Laidlaw. I had a daughter, graduated 2016. She's deaf, she's Puerto Rican. And I have written to the board thanking you all on a number of occasions for the time and the energy that staff had poured into this child. I wanted to come tonight to talk about two of her low points at our CSD, 2 points that almost broke her. First, in, I believe it was second grade, she was in a classroom with a dysfunctional teacher, a lot of screaming. Her challenge was to listen, to learn how to use sound. She couldn't do it in that class. So we worked with the case worker, and we got her out of the building. Took 3 months, but we went to School 50, hooked up with Tim Maines, the principal at the time, got an incredible class. She went on to get in the MAP program. The second point that nearly broke her, she had a teacher in her last year before retirement who not only bullied my daughter, but taught the whole class to bully her and taught her that she was not valuable. So Commissioner Funchess, you came to PLTI the other night and told us about the importance of relationship. That's what the case workers are. They are the people who maintain relationship with the teachers, the child, the family, and the district special ed program. So I'm here tonight to really implore you to, if you can, not only just restore those positions, but add to them, because they are the positions that facilitate the relationship between each individual special ed kid's needs. They're all different, and the teachers and the district. So again, I really want to thank you. I know how hard you guys work, but these particular positions, they are the glue that makes successful students in RCSD in the special ed program. So please restore them.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheryl Carlton.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Cheryl Carlton. I have 2 children who attend the RCSD. My son has Down syndrome. He's in a 12-on-1 special ed class at School 20, and he's currently in 6th grade, ready to complete his 7th year at the same school. My overall experience in the Rochester City School District has generally been very positive, but I have many concerns in the current phase of my son's education. I'm more than anxious about his transition this September from elementary school to 7th grade. I'm most concerned about the availability of services that Matthew should receive and is entitled to receive according to his IEP. I'm anxious about what programs will be available to him and how they will best meet his needs. What are his choices for next year? There's just no one at my son's school at the building level that could assist me or give me information on what programs are available. Very sad. We're now on our 5th coordinating administrator, the cases, as she just alluded to, just this year. This inconsistency has created many struggles for Matthew, especially at a time where it'd be extremely beneficial to have him have somebody familiar with him and the glue, like she had mentioned. I thank you for considering restoring these cases, and I urge you to do that. I toured the NISA program currently taught at school number 4 to see if the setting was appropriate for him, but I had hoped to find a less restrictive environment and a more inclusive setting for my son. I still have not been given any alternate choices for next year. I urge you to have more consistent mandatory professional development and training. RCSD needs consistent mandatory training for all the staff, including support staff, aides, teaching assistants, bus drivers, monitors, cafeteria staff, ISS staff, custodial staff. All of these folks have daily contact with our special ed students. This year's been, the teacher that's been assigned to his class, a very difficult class with severe behaviors and the most challenging classroom in the school, is a first-year teacher with no experience and very little training, according to what I'm seeing. The classroom is filled with extreme behaviors and often resulting in physical altercations with my son, other students. Again, because of the lack of training and support given to the teacher, the teaching assistant, and the aide in the classroom, and the lack of tools needed to help to identify and correct all these daily behaviors, Matthew is often being removed from the classroom to allow him the time to be redirected from the constant distraction in his classroom. And I'm extremely concerned about how much academic instructional time he's actually receiving. My son requires an aide. While this person is expected to be by his side throughout the day, he has had no job-specific training, no job description with clear expectations, trust me, I've asked to see it, and no prior knowledge or training of how to best work with a child who has Down syndrome. I believe the district should be providing these staff members with training before they walk into a school building and ongoing even after they begin their positions. I'm extremely concerned that not only are the one-to-one aide positions in jeopardy of being reduced, but that the ones that are currently hired are not even trained properly. In a recent classroom altercation, another student and my son were yet again involved in an argument, escalated, resulting in both kids getting in-school suspension. This was not the first suspension of the year. Matthew's a student with a disability. He's a child that does not fully understand, nor does he benefit in any way from the consequence of a suspension. Suspensions create an isolated environment and do not promote any type of learning. The district needs to do a better job, please, of supporting training and being consistent in its expectations of how to care for and support our children with special needs. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Wailani Olivo, I know I messed that up. I apologize. Is Wailani here? Yeah, she is. Oh, okay, with the baby. Okay, take your time.
Buenas, mi nombre es Guailani Olivo Navedo. Could the translators speak into the mic as well? I barely hear the speaker, and I really couldn't hear you.
Mi nombre es Guailani Olivo Navedo.
My name is Walani Olivo Navedo.
Tengo una hija con cerebral palsy.
I have a daughter with cerebral palsy.
Ella se llama Waidrielis Milay Zabaleta.
Her name is Waidrielis Milay Zabaleta.
Pues yo vengo aquí ante ustedes para pues pedirle los servicios para ella.
I come before you today to ask you for services for my daughter.
Otros como niños como ellas que también lo necesitan, como pues más terapia, gente que hable español en las escuelas.
And other children like her, like more therapies and people that speak Spanish in the schools.
Porque yo entiendo que si ella tuviese un maestro o unas terapistas que le hablen español, ella puede echar un poco más hacia adelante.
Because I understand that if she had other teachers or helpers that would speak the language, Spanish, she would be more ahead.
Y que los trabajadores que estén trabajando en la escuela con niños como ella tengan un entrenamiento requerido.
And I want the workers, the employees, the people that work with her in the schools that have a required training.
Como un CPR o algún entrenamiento para darle comida a los niños.
Like mandatory CPR or any other training to feed children like her.
Ya que a mi niña algunas veces ella se ahoga, no todo el mundo puede darle comida.
Because my daughter, as she takes her food in, she chokes, and everybody can't feed her.
Y más maestros que hablen español, que yo me pueda comunicar con ellos.
More Spanish-speaking teachers and staff so that I can communicate with them.
Y pues gente que trabaje como ellos, que estén todos en el mismo canal, como yo siempre he dicho.
And people that work as well as the teachers that'll be on the same channel, like I always say.
Que sean gente que quieran trabajar con niños como ellos, que no vayan a trabajar solamente por el dinero.
That is people that want to work with children like her and not just for the money.
Sería todo, de verdad. Yo espero que apoyen niños como ella, que de verdad lo necesitan. Ahí estas escuelas, por lo menos la 29, necesita mucho.
So that's about it, but I just want people that work at School 29 because they need a lot of help. And we need more people that would want to work with children as for her, or like her.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know we don't respond, but you go to number 29. Is the chief for 29 in here, or somebody can talk to her? Just to make sure that, thank you very much, Beth. Thank you. And we have one more speaker, Catherine Almodovar. I apologize. I'm not good at this, but. Good evening, ma'am.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Catherine Almodovar.
Good afternoon, my name is Catherine Almodovar.
Llegué aquí hace 6 meses de Puerto Rico por lo del huracán María.
I arrived here 6 months ago because of Hurricane Maria.
Llegué aquí buscando una mejor educación para mi hija de 17 años.
I came here looking for a better education for my 17-year-old daughter.
Está cursando ahora mismo el 4º año.
Right now she's in the 12th grade.
Al principio la enviaron a la escuela Franklin.
In the beginning she was sent to Franklin High School.
Donde no tenía maestros bilingües.
Where there were no bilingual teachers.
Ella se adaptó a esta situación.
She adapted to that situation.
Porque los maestros asignaban otra estudiante que fuera bilingüe para poder comunicarse con ellos y entendiera lo que daban en clase.
Because the teachers assigned other students that spoke both languages so that they can help them with their schoolwork.
En enero me llamaron del distrito escolar.
In January I got a call from the school district.
Para indicarme que habían abierto un programa bilingüe.
To let me know that they opened a bilingual program.
donde pues le daría mejores herramientas para ella.
Well, she would have a better learning system.
Ella está aquí desde enero en esta escuela bilingüe,
She's been here since January in this bilingual school,
donde se ha adaptado bastante,
where she has pretty much adapted,
donde entiende bastante el idioma inglés,
where she understands the English language pretty well,
pero aún no se atreve a hablarlo.
but she's still scared to speak it.
Tiene excelentes maestros bilingües,
She has excellent bilingual teachers,
pero el programa encuentro que está fallando un poco,
but I feel that the program is failing a little bit.
ya que el mes que estuvo en la otra escuela es todo lo que estudió ahí no lo aprobaron en la escuela bilingüe.
Because the month that she went to Franklin, all the work that she did, they didn't approve it in a new school.
Y ahora mismo la preocupación de ella
And right now, her biggest worry
son los exámenes del Estado.
are the state exams.
Aunque tiene excelentes notas,
Even though she has perfect grades,
no sabe si se va a graduar o no.
she doesn't know if she's going to graduate or not.
Esto me inquieta bastante como padre,
That worries me as a parent
porque ella quiere seguir estudiando.
because she wants to continue going to school.
Quiere llegar a ser una profesional aquí en Rochester.
She wants to be a professional here in Rochester.
Ella tiene una meta
She has a goal,
y yo como madre
and as a parent,
la apoyo.
I'm behind her 100%.
Y quisiera que la educación que dan aquí la ayude a alcanzar sus metas.
And I wish that the education that she gets here will help her reach that goal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. To the young lady who did the interpreting, I think Beth is looking for your help, but I wanted to, could you guys give her a round of applause? We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Unless I'm being handed a note that says there's one other speaker, which it looks like that's what this looks like it is. Thank you very much, Ms. Wade. Let's give Ms. Wade a round of applause. Send for a hand out applause. And the name I have here is Tasha Mitchell. She's a parent. Ms. Mitchell, why don't you come on up? Again, we take this time very seriously. We think this is an opportunity to listen to people. And we generally, when we have our Thursday meetings, they're pretty packed and the agenda's pretty full. But this is a very serious subject, the budget, and so we encourage people, as Ms. Mitchell is, to take the mic and give us some suggestions and guidance. Ms. Mitchell?
Thank you so much for hearing me tonight. I apologize for being late, but I was just getting off work.
No worries.
I also want to take this time to thank you for the work and the effort and the time that you've put into this year's budget. Currently, I know I had a chance to look at the budget. There is a plan to add 19 bilingual special ed teachers into the budget, and we appreciate that. I would encourage you to make sure that those 19 people actually get hired and stay on. I also know that you have plans, or there is a plan to cut 9 paraprofessionals from the special ed budget. I would ask that those cuts are due to a lack of need in the classroom and not be based on just the fact that we have to balance our budget. The reality of it is, even though we're getting more teachers, if they don't have the necessary supports to be effective in the classroom, then what we've done is we've crippled the teacher. She really can't do the work, or he can't do the work that we have asked them to do, no matter how small the classroom is, just because of the needs of the children in the classroom. And so I would ask that we would reconsider those 9 positions and find a way to keep them on and to get them trained so that when they come into the classroom working alongside the special ed teacher, the children in the classroom have a win-win situation. Whether they're working with a paraprofessional or the teacher, they have someone who is aware of their needs, understands their needs, is sensitive to them as individuals, and can help them along their process in learning, because we know all children can learn no matter what their circumstances. I know that I was at a meeting I think it was about maybe a week and a half ago, where we all spoke and we were talking about restorative practices and having more diversity in our curriculum, our books, and even in our library books. And I am encouraging you to put a hard line in the budget this year to begin to make that happen. The longer we prolong that, the longer our children look and long for someone or something that they can relate to. And at this point, we need everything we do to count. If they're reading a book and the book looks like them, it'll make more progress than reading a book that does not look like them, simply because they can relate. So I would ask, as a parent of 4 children that have graduated from the city school district, and now the grandparent of 5 that are in the city school district that I am raising, that we make a difference, and we make that difference now, because I've seen the difference in the education of all of my children. Not one of them got the same education or the same experience or opportunity, and they're only 10 years apart from the oldest to the youngest. And for me, that speaks volumes, because it says that our district changes so often that I can't even depend on my child getting the education in the same school that my oldest went to and get the same quality of education even 5 years later. So I would ask that we make some real efforts in making sure that whatever our kids are getting, it's solid and it's consistent and it looks like them and reflects them in a very positive way, because it works and we need it to work now. Finally, I would say, I know that there have been talks about hiring school counselors, minority teachers, and social workers. Again, I would ask that every single person that we recruit, we hire, and that we make an extra effort to keep them in the long term, because we need people that look like our children. We need people that can do the work and understand where our children are coming from every single day of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our meeting. Once again, on behalf of the Board of Education, I want to extend our thanks for your willingness to come out tonight. Trust me and my colleagues that your words will be studied and made a part of our budget deliberations. Other than that, I wish you all a blessed and good evening. Can I get a motion to adjourn? And moved by Commissioner Beatrice. Seconded by Melanie. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Good night, everybody. I need to go to bed.